What's up, guys? Welcome to the Metal Lab 101 podcast. We got our big show this week. The man is in the house.
Hi.
Billy Fore. How we doing?
I'm looking at the biggest one here, and that's not even the one to look at. That's the monitor.
That's you, bro.
This
We
is
got
me.
A
Okay, good.
camera.
There's all kinds of things going on in this room right
Yeah.
now. It's easily distracted. You can get easily
Just
distracted.
posted.
Yeah. So what's going on, man?
Nothing.
What's-
How are you guys?
Good, man. You know,
The least you could have done was shovel out a half of a foot more for me to pull into the front of the house.
Oh my God! It's everybody from Jersey just can't deal with not having things done for them.
I can. That is true. When we were just on the Angel thing last weekend, you could ask Alexa. I was on. We were on the highway. I needed gas. I pulled over, and I was just waiting because I'm not used to pumping my own gas.
How dare you?
And I never really. It's embarrassing. I never really know how to go about it. Do I go inside first, or do I just swipe and then?
It's such a plebeian thing for you to do.
Yes.
you're like, do I, am I good? Come in?
And as I'm pointing to nobody. I'm just hoping that someone
Hey,
sees what I'm doing.
hey, do you
You got
do you
the
work
Hindu
here?
guy in the
They
video
see I'm
going.
confused.
Do you
The
work
Hindu
here?
guy in the window's going.
He sees me looking out to the highway, just going.
Do you
And
do
that
this
guy-
alone?
And then he goes, "Go help him," and then it gets me help.
Somebody help that guy. Oh, there's the Jersey plate. Somebody help that guy. Yeah, man. So, first of all, just let me say thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you for
Absolutely,
the setup.
thank you.
This is great.
Yeah, we can't tell you how much we appreciate
We
it.
rolled
man.
out the beige carpet for
We,
you.
we
I
got
see
the,
it.
we got the
I see
beige
it.
carpet.
It's lambskin.
Paint the town beige.
So hot.
Yeah. So I just want to jump right into it, man. So you have a lot of things going on. You got a tour coming up with Angel. Is that correct?
Angel does have a tour coming up. and
Angel
that's
has a tour
with,
coming up.
with help me. Plenty and oh God, intervals.
Are you going with him? Are you going on tour with him?
Yes.
Nice.
No, I'm not.
No?
I can't. He has to. This one, I just did we just did the weekend winter tour, which was great. But this one I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things
So,
happen.
Things happen. But I
happen.
think the drummer from Save Us from the Archon is filling in for me.
Nice.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. So I want to talk a little bit about the current metal scene. You know what I mean?
Sure.
What's your opinion on the current metal scene, like the stuff going on right now, as you see it? Because you're on the inside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're on the outside. You're on the inside.
Well, it's not.
so-
It doesn't even matter because half that now with metal and with things are the gent style, which is great. But I mean, like every other band now you hear sounds exactly like that. Dun, 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 and then they slow it down with the slow China. Dun, 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 and then they go back to the ride like crash, and it's like and it's good.
Yeah.
But everybody seems to be like doing it just to do it because they want to get cool YouTube views.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I understand it because it's like YouTube generation. But once you start getting very oversaturated with the YouTube videos, that's just what they start to sound similar.
I think the current metal
mean-
scene, the way it is now, is completely oversaturated.
It is.
There's so many bands coming out, and like you said, everyone's doing roughly the same thing.
It is.
So it's like you can't almost. You can't almost tell the difference between some bands. Like that, some bands are good. Some
You
bands
have
are
to
not,
have a
like-
fine-tuned ear.
exactly
Fine-tuned
if there's
ear
something
and say,
different.
here, I'm going to show you 10 seconds right now of this breakdown. Go. And then you hear the breakdown. You're like, that could be one of 20 bands in my head right now. So you have to, then
Right.
you got to be like, oh, who produced this? How's that
Exactly.
snare drum
Without
sound?
a doubt. You gotta
Are
find
these
the
real
diff-
drums or are these like...
You got to look for the differences behind
Yeah.
the scenes. You know what I mean?
But I love that. I still love that.
Yeah,
but
of course, of course. But
it's
like
just
the
very-
current, the current crop of metal bands, I'd
Yeah.
say within, let's say, the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. As opposed to like when I was growing up, in like the early to mid 2000s, you had the new wave of American heavy metal. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Kill Switch,
and
Engage.
that's what turned me on. I was. Are you a fan? too? I was. Oh, that's
I
you.
do know.
Shit.
No,
me.
I know.
It's the waywards, the vagabond in the corner.
I'm over here.
I'm hearing mumblings
They
from
can't
the
see me.
corner,
It's
from
just
beyond.
a random person talking on the live stream.
But yeah, that was the first. The Kill Switch was the first band that turned me on to the. Because I listened to punk, and then
Yeah.
I listened to hardcore, and that was like simple. Like it was fun, but it was
Yeah.
simple. I liked the attitude of it.
Exactly.
Is
But
that
then I
what-
heard Kill Switch,
Right.
and then they kind of brought metal.
It kind of like set it off.
yeah, and I was like,
You had
what the hell is
Kill
this?
Switch, and then As LA Dying came in, and then Lamb of God was already
Yeah.
in, but then they came to,
Yeah.
they came in. Bands like God Forbid, All That Remains. You know
God
what I mean?
forbid.
Bands
It's funny.
like that.
Well, I grew up from Jersey before I was even involved with like Mutiny or any bands, if any, like trying to do stuff with actually, like in that terms. God forbid I would go see shows with them, and then we started playing shows with them. And those Doc, I'm great friends with Doc Coyle.
Fantastic band.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
one of my all-time favorites. Still,
It's a shame that they broke up.
it is.
It is. That was we used to because where we grew up, me, Kevin, in Florida, the metals there's no metal scene. Number one.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah,
one.
so we would drive around rocking out, bleeding through as LA Dying.
You got it. That was
Kill
the
Switch.
old school Ferret Records.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust Kill Records.
Trust Kill, yeah.
What else? What was it?
Throwdown. Throwdown was on Trust Kill. You know what I mean?
But then Throwdown took a weird Pantera
Oh, they
curveball.
went straight Pantera.
What happened?
It was horrible. They
It was
went the
fucking-
way.
It was fucking weird.
They
all
went the
just
way
looked-
of Avenged.
Really weird.
They all just looked around and
Yeah,
go.
that's no good.
They all
That's
just
no
looked
good.
around
No
and go.
bueno.
Pantera.
No bueno.
Pantera. Let's do it.
The last 3 Avenged Sevenfold albums
Oh, yeah.
are fucking horrible.
I gotta say
The last good one was the one with Waking the Fallen.
Oh
with
my
Unholy
god,
Confession.
fantastic album.
Best album.
Epic
Best.
songs.
After that,
7,
City of
8-minute
Evil.
songs.
I mean, granted, he says he burned his voice out. He
Yeah,
did
he had
some
throat
Something.
surgery or
throat
something.
surgery. Okay, I get it. Then take a couple months off again. Don't.
Yeah.
I hate that style singing.
Mm.
I don't. And he's always said I grew up listening to like Axl Rose, and you could see he's trying to do it with the glasses and whatever.
Yeah.
And I still their newest album, like Rob Flynn from Machine Head said, sounds like the greatest hits album because of other bands.
Of other bands.
Because they copied all the like Metallica, Megadeth, ACD, all these other bands, and they took their biggest hits and they kind of put an Avenged Sevenfold, hair gel to the side spin on it.
with a set of glasses,
With a set of
pair of
glasses, yeah.
aviators.
Yeah, but I just think like the way the metal scene is now, bands like
There's a
back
lot
in-
of good songs on that album, but
There is, but you got to pick and choose what you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But the way the metal scene is now, bands like we were talking about, Kill Switch, All That Remains, As You Lie Dying, even though the guy paid a hitman to have his wife murdered.
I was
but
just
that's
thinking
neither,
of him today.
That's neither
fucking
here nor
strange.
there.
Do you remember what he used to look like before they like hit it big?
Oh yeah,
He was this fucking stick figure.
he was
He was.
thin.
I honestly think I'm pro. If you want to fucking do steroids, you want to do testosterone, do it moderately. Be like a be fucking
blow
be
up.
fucking smart about it. He used to be the stereotypical emo, like I'm trying to be wayfish and hide it because you just don't get me fully.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
like he was this big, and then all of a sudden I keep staring at the bathroom like it's a person. All of a sudden he gained. I'm not kidding. 100 pounds of muscle.
Oh, I seen him.
And
Like,
you
just
put
swole.
a picture before and after of what he used to look like, and it was clear he was abused. He was drinking it,
Just
he was
mainlining it right in the neck.
abused- right in the neck. He was
Right in the neck.
abusing it.
Yeah.
He he's the kind of guy that felt safe when like a vial would be in his hand.
I'm good.
But
Yeah.
I just think bands like that broke out. Now, As You Lay Dying's not doing it anymore, but obviously God
Woven
forbid.
War. They're not now. They're
Yeah.
Woven War.
But now you got Lamb of God that's still doing it, been doing it forever. You got Killswitch Engage, been doing it forever, still doing it. But is it even possible in the landscape right now to break out like that, like they did, and have that lasting power like they did?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Maybe, but as time progresses, it's like music saying, "Look what you guys are doing. Fuck you. We're going away for a second." It's like harder to get
Exactly.
occupational style, lifestyle with music.
Exactly.
Because of how many people. I mean, it's great because you go on YouTube and kids could look at a Killswitch video and then teach themselves, and then they put something up and they could write music that's really good.
Yeah.
But then there's 10 other people doing it, and it's harder to get noticed by record company A&Rs, which are like going the fucking down the river, which are like, it's not the same as
It's
it used
almost
to be.
non-existent.
It's,
Yeah.
it is. It's
becoming
different. It's
non-existent.
different. It's like a molded. All right, you don't pay for music, you get what you get now. When you buy albums, you pay for music. You get stuff that money was put into.
Yeah.
And like
That they give
time
it-
was
you
put
give a
into.
shit about- you're
You
pouring
that you give a
everything
shit
into
about.
it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I feel bad about for kids that grow up these days listening to metal. Bands like We Came as Romans, even a little bit Bullet for My Valentine, even though I like their
I still
first
like
album.
both of those
yeah.
bands.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like
yeah.
both-
Yeah. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, like Devil Wears Prada.
I
They all
fucking
have
I love them.
I love Devil Wears Prada.
They're the best.
I know every single drum hit from
Memphis
the album.
May Fire.
They're great. Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
But bands like that, from I'm like Moth to a Flame,
Yeah.
Moth to,
Yeah, yeah,
Moth
yeah.
to Flame, stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? I think they don't have the history to like listen to the older, and by older I mean 2000, mid 2000s.
And that's fucking crazy that we're calling mid 2000s. I sound like an old person.
Yeah.
We're calling
Six-
mid
2000s.
2000s and mid 2000s like older,
Old,
Yo,
people.
old
yo,
school,
man, it's
Pantera,
old
I saw
school
an article
metal.
like Pantera and Metallica are like to some
That's really
generations
old, dude.
is old people
That's
music.
really old. We
Yeah.
were
Like
like,
how we say fucking Fleetwood Mac and like Steely Dan.
Yeah.
That's
Yo,
what
Steely
they're-
Dan is
Exactly.
fire, bro. Steely Dan is fire.
You don't ever fuck with Steely Dan.
Don't fuck with Steely
Don't you
Dan.
ever
If my
fuck with
dad
Steely
was
Dan.
here, he would
I
do
know.
the glasses
I
dip
know.
at you, bro.
He'd
be screwed.
the glasses dip.
He'd
yeah.
give you the glasses dip. Like, what are you talking about?
He's like, I'm willing to have worse vision to disrespect you.
disrespect you. I don't even want to see you. That's how mad I am.
I don't even want to look at you and give you the respect of good vision.
And I think with the advent of like online music now, it's Spotify,
Yeah.
downloading individual songs.
Well, that's it here.
You know what I mean?
get all right. Well, Spotify.
Yeah.
You get a Spotify version of music because okay, when we in Mutiny, we went to Florida for our first album. Get up on the mic,
you
and
go.
we had 50 songs, like to shuffle through while we were with the producer, and we narrowed it down to 15, then we narrowed it down to 13, and then we narrowed it down to 11, and the 2 were for the bonus tracks. But now, and then after that, we took time into what song is going to go into each song after the previous one is over.
Yeah.
And then in the liner notes, and then the lyrics and the way it's laid out. And that's not the way it's done anymore because you go on Apple or iTunes,
You get
rather,
3 songs that you
and
like,
you
and
say,
that's
"I
it."
want to spend 99 cents and buy the single," and then all the other songs are just fluff.
Yeah.
So when people think that way, that's how the mold is going to become for the artist because they're just going to think of singles,
Exactly.
and they're going to put out a single. And
Exactly.
they're not going to
It's
put out
like-
an album.
The way that you're talking is when I first I got really into classic rock because of my father,
Yeah.
and then the first album I bought of classic rock, I guess you could say, was Dark Side of the Moon, and it was like, how do you go from like when I buy music now? If I do buy music, I haven't bought in a while. But I still buy albums. I buy entire albums.
Yeah.
Because you have. Where's that segue going to be between the 3rd track and the 9th track if you have nothing in between?
Yeah,
You don't know
put,
what.
I mean, you put number 1 on there. You put, let's say, 12 on there. You got 12 songs on an album. You put them in an order for a specific reason.
And you
It's
know
a
how much
flow.
fucking time that takes
Exactly.
to put
Yeah.
the thought
exactly.
into it to actually because if you're at that point and you're getting to put out an album on a major label that people could see and buy a physical copy, which is the fucking way of the buffalo now.
Yeah.
But when you can do that, and if you get the chance to do that, it's because you care and you're putting time into that.
And you
But
care
ha-
about that artist. You want to give him the support
Yeah.
of buying that full album.
Yeah,
And
not-
plus, like when I was a kid growing up, like when a new album came out, you stayed on top of when that album came
Yeah.
out. When that fucking album came out, I'd gather up a group of my friends. We go to Sam Goody.
I'd go
or-
to FYE where you
FYE,
can
yeah.
sample each
FYE.
album, and I'd stand there
Exactly.
for a fucking hour.
Exactly.
dude.
It was a thing to do. You
Yeah.
go there, be like, yo, let's go get the album. We'll listen to it there. We'll check it out.
Nothing is tangible anymore.
Exactly.
It's becoming a less tangible
Exactly.
everything.
You have it in
Fucking
your
Sam
hand.
Goody.
You open the book.
Sam Goody.
I
That's
remember
Sam
Sam
Goody.
Goody
Remember
back
Sam
then.
Goody?
Let's go to
The
Circuit
Wiz.
City.
The Wiz, bro. The Wiz.
But
it
then
was
we'll go
like
to Caldor to buy sweatpants.
Caldor, son. Caldor.
But it was like
Pergament
it was like
Mall.
a thing you did with your friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like a something to do. And now it's just like it seems like it's so not watered down, but it's such like a sterile kind of thing. You download 1 song, you download 2 songs,
It is.
and all the other material that this band that you supposedly love so much because of their single is just goes by the wayside. You know what I mean?
does. There's
It's-
there's like fluff songs bands put out
Exactly.
on
It's
their
filler.
Filler.
It's like
It's
filler.
filler like an eraser smudge that you can't get off the page.
Yep.
Like, it's garbage.
It is.
And it's not even their entire fault. It's the way that everything is like consumed now.
Yeah.
If people could print out food with 3D printers, it's happening. They're gonna print out their dinner. That's just how they like it.
Well, it
they
was
like commercials now are saying, "Ooh, I don't want to go out to the
Exactly.
store."
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck you mean you don't want to go out to the store?
That's where food is.
Go move. Go walk.
Everyone's completely cool with being sedentary. So, like what you were saying though, with waiting to like you were waiting for that album to drop. That's music in general. Hip hop for me, I was the same way with like Nas when Nas came out with stuff like that. Like Stillmatic is one of the greatest lyrical albums of all time, for example. But the way that we have now, it's just in your face with the internet. You always are continuously reminded that someone's album's coming out. Someone's album's coming out. But back in the day when we were kids, it was like, oh, this album comes out then, and then maybe around 4 months before it came out, you'd hear one blurb that they changed something, and then then the day it came out, you were fucking stoked because you were going to buy an album.
There was
Yeah,
more
exactly.
anticipation. There was
Yes.
more
Yeah.
like it was more of an ordeal.
It's
like
almost-
it was a physical thing that I could hold, as opposed to like ones and fucking zeros.
Yeah, 99
And
cents because I like this one song.
binary code just gave you a song,
Yeah.
and then you're listening to the MP3 on your iPod, and you're like, "This sounds great," but I used to like burning a CD and giving
Exactly.
the car test and driving down the street, listening to how it actually sounded because it's not the same. What you
isn't
get
the
on
same.
MP3s through
Exactly.
this bullshit is compressed,
Yeah,
smaller
exactly.
versions of what you're supposed to hear.
Exactly.
And it's
It's just not. It's just not the same. It's just
No,
not the same.
not
And I
even
feel
close.
bad for the kids that are growing up nowadays that missed out on all that. You know what I mean? Because that
But
was
they're
an integral part
the
of
thing
us
that's
growing
scary
up.
is
It really
they're
was. It
content
was-
with that.
Mm-hmm.
Kids
a big
now are
part.
content with
Content. Yeah.
shipping.
Well, they don't
easy.
know. They
There was
don't
a
know
kid
any better.
before I came here. There was a kid in the store online in front of me. He was buying a greeting card. He was pacing back and forth between 4 lanes because they weren't going fast enough.
well, that's how it is.
He couldn't. He was so mad that he could not. He was like 16, and he was like, "You're buying a card, bro."
Yeah, but that generation, he's probably buying a greeting card to go say hello to somebody.
Yeah, because they don't know how to.
talk
They don't
either
speak.
anyway.
Exactly.
Nobody talks.
19s and 20-year-olds and like
There's no phone calls. It's
Nothing.
all. It's all texting. It's all.
straighten yourselves out.
Yeah.
Go
Exactly.
do something
Do
like
something.
out of the fucking web of like oh, this is what this person's doing. What the fuck is Snapchat?
It's
What's
I don't know what
Snapchat?
it is. I don't
What
know
is
what it is.
Snapchat?
What is it?
Oh, ask Kevin.
It's
'cause
glorified.
Kevin-
I know
Kevin
what it
is-
is. I'm
Kevin
being
is
sarcastic.
balls
Big
deep
with-
in
yeah, what is
Snapchat.
Snapchat?
Yeah,
Kev?
what the
you snap a picture. I don't know. It goes away.
Like it did?
Yeah, maybe. You can send multiple dick pics and they go away.
You just
Go-
screenshot that thing.
I mean,
it
it's
won't go
almost-
away after that.
Well, it tells you that they screenshotted it.
Snapchat.
Oh,
for anybody-
really?
Oh yeah, it'll tell you.
What?
It'll let you know if somebody takes a screenshot of the picture.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
That's no bueno.
No boy.
Can't have that.
And when we were growing up, like if you wanted to be in a metal band, if you wanted to start a metal band, and you wanted to go somewhere with it, it would be like, okay, you get the stuff together, you get a couple songs together, maybe you have a couple cover songs, then you go play the shit out of shows. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you're
you
supposed
play
to do.
anywhere.
You
Exactly.
play shows.
Exactly. You get the fans by playing shows, and if you hope and pray that somehow, some way, you get enough of a following to where, I mean, like a record label will come out, check you out, sign you to a record deal, and you print, and then you have a record deal.
Well, I
and
mean,
records come out.
Forget like going to play shows because you got to get fans. Go play shows because you got to get good at playing.
Exactly.
And half the when you see, I mean, it's disheartening enough now when you hear fucking drums on an album. You hear, and that's supposed to be his feet going. Half the fucking drums you hear now are fake.
That
Half of the
sucks.
drums you hear are fucking
They're all,
programmed.
and from hanging out with you, I can now hear.
You
the
could hear
difference.
you could hear the
You can
difference.
hear the
And trust me,
difference
they're
in
fucking
both.
they're wizards trying to add realism to the fake. But the point is like go play a show because you want to be a band with other people playing instruments and you get to fucking play a whole thing like a song or a set and you get to experience that with people and then if they like it, oh wow, look, we're doing something cool that people resonate with. But it's not like, oh, I want to go play shows to get fans, or oh, I want to make the coolest breakdown and pitch my growl as low as possible just to get those death metal kids. And it's like half the people now, number one, they don't even have a real band. You're just hearing stuff that a kid made in his basement, which is great. That's fun. But a lot of bands are, like I said, it's going to the fucking wayside of being a real thing as
Exactly.
opposed to an internet like thumbnail picture like Tom. Remember the old Tom from MySpace staring at the fucking like that?
with the whiteboard on his back.
Yeah, with the whiteboard.
Like he was doing some important shit before that picture.
yeah.
But just like now, it's completely opposite. Now you get noticed and you get out there by putting out YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's
You put-
it's
the
totally. I mean, it's
complete
changing.
opposite.
It's changed from back in the day to now,
Oh,
and
exactly.
it's changing from now until next week, and then a year from
exactly.
now. So you got to you can't fault them for trying to be so
No, but it's a
media
double-edged
savvy.
sword.
It
Yeah,
is.
It's a double-edged sword because on the one hand, it's good to get out there. It's good to get out there and play shows. And on the other hand, it's so easy
Yeah.
for your shit to get out there now.
Yeah.
But so much shit gets out there so quick
Yeah.
that it dilutes the whole
Yeah.
the whole thing because
And
anyone can put anything out. You know what I'm saying? And the quality just isn't there sometimes.
And everybody's getting so technically savvy with their Pro Tools and their GarageBand even and things like that that they could produce something that sounds really good. And it could be like a guitarist. Like, for instance, there's a sick fucking drummer, Anoop Sastry, and he drums and plays the guitar, or maybe he programs them, but the albums he puts out are fucking ridiculous. But he's an amazing drummer, and he could play everything he's doing. There's a lot of kids now that are putting out these things in the basement, and they just can't play it whatsoever. You go to hear it live, and you're kind of disappointed at it not being what you heard on their Facebook profile. Yeah. But I mean, there's no fault in that, because bands that are really good have to get in heavily on Facebook and YouTube and things like that.
It's just the way of the world now.
Yeah,
There's no way around it.
You have to keep up.
There's a band
it's
like
almost like keeping up.
Our Last Night. They're like a metalcore band. They're great. I love them. And they stay so like on top of their covers that they're doing for YouTube now. It's like their new thing. They're putting all covers out of pop songs, but it's keeping them relevant. It's getting them millions of fucking views. And granted, it may not be your thing, and you may call them out for being like, oh, you guys are selling out, but they're trying to stay like relevant. Yeah. Otherwise, there's no chance at some kind of career in music like when Bon Jovi was in the fucking Jovi glory days. That shit ain't happening anymore.
No, it's not like that anymore.
It's not.
It's just not like that anymore.
Bruce Springsteen's better. Anyway.
The boss.
Bruce String Cheese.
Don't hate.
I never liked one song.
How, bro? You can't get mad at
That's guy. I just did it.
Bill. The guy looks like me and you, and he's 69,000 years old. You can't get mad at that.
He's a little
You
more.
really can't get mad
He's
at
a
that.
little
The
more
American
Silver
flag
Fox.
album cover? You unfreedom loving bastard.
I guarantee you, he put time into photoshopping his ass to look perfect.
Nope. That's all real ass. That's Levi's jeans, bro. That's Levi's.
That's an extra handkerchief or two in his back pocket.
At least.
It's just
on,
Benjamin
bro.
Button in it.
You can't do that pose? You want that pose.
I'm pretty sure everybody could do that pose.
Nope. You just didn't do it the right way, though.
I just never liked Bruce Springsteen.
Well, you're a piece of shit.
I've realized
But that's real. That's real nice.
I realized it.
Might as well set an American flag on fire.
That's right.
How dare you?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Don't you
So,
love freedom?
Don't you love freedom?
So what's going on with Mutiny, man? What's the new word?
Limbo. I mean, Chris is doing his wearing scars thing now with Andy James from England, and their two videos they put out are fucking great. I mean, I loved it. I heard them before they came out, and I've been playing them in my car since YouTube had them, and they're incredible. But as far as him, it's fucking annoying, because when we got signed by Roadrunner, AJ put all this time into formulating Mutiny. They played shows, and he was doing the screaming. I'm going to try and remember my point and come back, but it's not going to happen. And he was looking for a singer, so he found Chris on MySpace. So then he came on a temporary visa, and he would keep going back and forth, and it's fucking annoying to try and write a song and get in the room with everyone. He was living at AJ's house for fucking ever, like years. Back and forth, him and Dan Beige from England would come, and then everyone just started living in AJ's basement. It was like a pit of fucking snakes. But then after a while, touring back and forth, it would get like stressful. It's annoying because he's not a U.S. citizen. He kept having to go back because of legal reasons with his visa. So then after that transpired and things happened, and then we stopped touring as a band, but then we put out a second album. We did the second album from two fucking countries. We were here.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it.
We were here, and Chris was in England, and that's just how it went. And Chris has produced the entire thing. He's an amazing producer on top of being a great singer. So that worked out to our benefit because we didn't have to go and pay $100,000 for a fucking studio that they whisk you away to, and they say, here, we're going to put you up here, and it's going to be great. But guess what? You're gonna have to pay that back later. So keep that in the footprints of like the footnotes of what you want to remember when you hear things like that. You got to pay people back, and it's like money wise. Chris is like I said, is a amazing producer, so he put out the whole album on his own. But being that now we still are in two separate countries, it's harder. But I mean, we have probably a full album ready. Of material ready to go.
Yeah.
But Chris, he has to do his thing on it, and then he would have to, mix it, and then all that takes time. And he has a new band now, and he has a wife now, so life happens.
Life.
So
pretty much life.
It's still like,
In limbo.
when you're the kid that's in the beach and he's too afraid to go past the phone, but like you're kind of you want to get your feet wet.
In the water.
We're still in the watery chest.
It's the
area.
the Italian, foot pool dip. You know,
Yeah.
when you do like, is it
Whatever the
cold?
fuck that
is
is.
it cold?
Yeah. But yeah, we're still on the Italian foot on.
And then a
3.
relative comes up behind you. Just
I mean, I
pushes you the
have,
fucking
I
end
have,
away.
I have
Exactly.
full because I did the
Yeah.
album artwork to the second album. I have full album artwork done, ready to go for the third one already.
Nice.
So it's balls in their court.
Yep.
But you know,
Life, as you
life,
said. Life
and
happens.
circumstance, and
Right.
miles, and
Life
water.
gets in the way a lot
There's a
of
big,
a lot
there's
of
a big
dreams.
pond in
There's a-
between.
there's a
big pond.
Across the pond is it's far away.
That is
annoying.
far away.
It's a hell of a boat ride.
Easier to bounce ideas back and forth when you're writing an album with people like in this setting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
As opposed to all of us being in our home, like on Skype, and I could have no pants on. Kevin couldn't even be like have any clothes.
Kevin has
on.
no pants on
Yeah.
right now.
I have no pants on. Nobody can see it right now, but
Actually,
I really
it's a-
don't
Waist
have any
down.
pants on.
Actually, it's a pink G-string. Just so you know.
To match the mic.
It is.
But that's the thing, like how I'm saying, like being like in close quarters with people, and you could actually talk and look at the. I
Exactly.
can touch your flesh if I feel like it.
Exactly.
It's like kids now where they're so engulfed and stuck in like the Facebook thing that music obviously it takes that direction because that's where all the attention is going. So that's where you got to like tailor what you're trying to do. So people know who the fuck you are, because more people are looking at a YouTube video as opposed to going to a show now. So if you want to be a band that's successful at something, at least try and put your fingers, your toes in the water of maybe getting a better social media presence
Yeah.
as opposed to
I'll tell you what,
none
though,
at
man,
all.
Since
I
we
mean,
started this with the social media, with the Twitter, the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, it is fucking exhausting.
It's like
keeping up with
it's
all
another
of them.
job.
I know.
Exactly.
It's a whole nother
It's
job.
a whole other job.
But
But
now,
it really
now
is.
on the like you said, the double-edged sword. Try doing all this right now without any of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
It wouldn't
Well,
be.
it would
It
have
wouldn't
to,
be
you would
possible.
have to get on the radio.
Yeah, we're not fucking.
You know what I mean?
We're not
You'd have
Rush.
to be on the radio.
Absolutely.
We're not Rush Limbaugh pilled out like on Oxy. Well, we might be pilled out, but we're not fucking Rush Limbaugh. That has like number one, like in this kind of atmosphere, you're a more real human being.
Exactly.
But when you're on that radio, the sanitized, I have to worry about the this and that.
Well,
That's not.
it's exactly what happened to Howard Stern, and that's the reason Sirius came around. And Sirius happened, and now podcasts are happening. So it's always you're continuously evolving within this spectrum.
I just saw Artie Lang live.
Stand-up comedy.
Oh my god.
Nicest guy in the world.
It was the
I worked
hot-
with him. Nicest guy in the world.
The hard I did
Really?
too. In a
Nicest guy in
in
the
a
world.
dumb fucking me and AJ from Mutiny were extras in like a spin-off, not a spin-off, like a goof like karate short film, and Artie Lang was in it, and it was the Karate Goomba. And
I seen that.
that was I'm in it. Yes. I'm the first asshole that gets fucking swept. And you want to know it's even better because the guy that directed Patrick Kendall, the guy that directed the first Mutiny video, Awake, had me and AJ, me specifically, in the back of his mind because he knew at what kind of douchebag I portrayed or looked like. So he's like, hey, we need a bunch of stereotypical, like, greased up to the nine, shellacked, brown face, like, look like
Bronzed.
you...
That's
look
definitely
like
not
you,
you, Billy.
Look like you just spray tanned, like, ridiculous.
Orange.
Yeah.
Just looking orange.
So he called me and he's like, "You want to be an extra in a video?" And I'm like, "Fine." And it was fun. But that was where I first. That was where I first. That was where I first got to meet Artie Lang.
Bro, the first time I met Billy, I think we were working on a job somewhere, and we instantaneously clicked. Like, because I would just say, and then, fast forward 2 months later, we're up like 60 feet in a lift, taking nothing serious.
Not at all.
And getting in trouble on a consistent basis. Like,
I remember one time, it was either me or you that was backing up or moving forward, and there was a moment of sheer like from Antonio.
I
like,
was thrown
whoa.
over.
Like it was like one of those like whoa, and like the way he did like the whoa, I couldn't stop laughing. It
was
like
you.
a
You were
half hour.
driving, and
It was
I
me.
wasn't holding on, but I
Yeah.
was leaning over the railing, and you were like, you stopped the lift, and I almost
It was-
shot over the edge,
It
and I
was
was
at
like,
the
whoa.
instance where we were trying to hang all the chains
Yep.
from the grid up
Yes.
top. And it was just fucking annoying. And there was just one move, and it was just a whoa. And the genuine like nervous quiver you got from him. That was it.
Me and
But yeah, that was
Antonio.
Daredevil.
Me and Antonio were up in a lift one time.
Every day,
on this-
everybody, all my best friends, I met up in the air somewhere.
Up in the air. Me and Antonio bonded up in the air.
That's what
Never
happened.
met Antonio Day. He had a tap out shirt on. And we're both fans of MMA. I'm like, yo, you a fan of fighting? He goes, oh, yeah. Then that was it. But we were up in a lift one time, right? We're like, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 feet up. We're hanging a velour, which is a giant black curtain, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
yeah.
And we hear this guy on the floor. we hear this
He's
guy
muttering to
he's
himself.
muttering. He's like, and I'm like, and we're just listening to him like, listen to this jerk off. Then he goes, this is what he says: no one around, no one around, no one to talk to. He goes, Spider-Man.
Like, dude, I
he's
started-
like Spider-Man, and I'm like.
Did you say like wait?
No,
What the
he
fuck's
yelled
going
out
on
to-
there?
Stop laughing. I'm like, bro, look at this. Look. He's saying Spider-Man on his own.
He's
like,
practicing.
Who's he talking to?
It's like watching a kid walk for the first time. You were that surprised. You're like, oh my god,
Bro, we could not stop laughing. He's just the
Good
dude
time.
standing there by himself going,
Did he not
Spider-Man?"
see? Did he not see the enormous lift or whatever that was next to him? And he was muttering.
He had his hands on his hips and he was just staring at the wall going, Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Man,
Like,
seems
what
he
is
knew
this fucking
something.
guy talking about?
He knew what he was talking about.
Apparently he
definitely
did.
knows
Spider-Man.
Maybe he
about.
thought Spider-Man had to get to where he was going. Like he
Maybe.
had to be Spider-Man to do his job. Like I can't fucking do this. I'm not Spider-Man.
But seeing as how you've dabbled, well, more than dabbled, in
Right.
the movie industry
Yeah.
that we're in,
Yeah.
how ridiculous is it really? People think it's like a glamorous job.
Well, I mean, for the part, like what you guys do for a living, what I was, what we were referring to, we
Yeah.
were working on Daredevil. It's fucking hard work.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Definitely
people
hard
don't
work.
say like, oh, look at that beautifully crafted set of that living room, and it's like, oh yeah, guess what? 100 feet up is like steel pipe that looks like graph paper that we had to put up there, and it's like they're fucking heavy, and your fucking hands get this fucking black grease
dirty.
that you can't touch. So, not that I'm complaining about that, but I'm saying hard work goes into what
yeah.
hard work.
people
And
don't
it's,
realize.
it's dangerous to an
No,
extent.
fuck, it's dangerous,
Dude,
I almost had a nervous. I got this new fear of heights, and I was never fully afraid of heights.
Well, you were doing the. I remember when we first started work. I was like, Bill, you gotta let go. You gotta let go of the railing, and because I'd be like, you gotta commit to one side. So he'd be
wasn't.
holding on to a railing.
I was in limbo.
and trying to like reach for stuff, and I'd be like, you gotta let go, man.
Yeah, but you just got to make the excuse. No, I'm doing firm. I'm just trying to.
No, I gotta
trying
keep
to
my
get
balance.
trying to get a good line of sight on what
It's
we're
my
trying.
process. It's my process. Don't fuck with my process. You're just white knuckling it. You're
I
white
had
knuckling
to,
on the
there was
lift.
this, an incident
I've
with
been
me and Sean. We had to pull up. We had to go up to the grid and walk the little catwalk.
Oh no, nope. I straddle that thing.
Oh fuck you!
ride it.
I
Just
hated
ride
it,
it out.
but I didn't want to seem like a fucking total abject failure and say no, I'm not going up there. So I went up with him, and we had to pull the lift so close to the edge to get up to where we had to go. And even though it was so close, it was still maybe a 4 or 5 foot gap that you had to have a step of faith across to the catwalk.
You gotta want it.
And I did it on the
Gotta
way.
want it.
You gotta want
I
it.
did it on the way, which was bad enough. But for some reason, I just got fucking glued to the edge trying to get back.
Couldn't do it.
It's like where like you go like this and you touch it, you just turn around, you touch it. Like it was impossible. But eventually, I just had to. I was holding onto the top so fucking tight that you forget how it was like you had to pry your own. You had to say like let go and
Drenched in sweat.
I fucking
Drenched
hated
in
that.
sweat.
The fucking worst. Driving them is fun, but you're gonna go up high. That shit ain't fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's lifts that go up 150 feet.
No, I know.
When-
Rob was fucking with me one day, and we went up one.
So
day.
he's super confident, and he's not.
It doesn't matter.
small enough to
He's
be
not
that
afraid of.
confident
He's
in
not
the air.
afraid of heights.
No.
It's a
He's
new.
not a tiny guy. He's
No.
nimble though up
You
there.
should-
He can
you-
move around.
You should see him at the arena. It's crazy.
That's
He's,
what's-
he's on like a 1 foot
Bro,
beam.
he's not
6
you-
inch.
just 6
Yeah,
and just
6-inch beams, man.
like it's nothing.
Crazy.
No,
Like, it's
no.
nothing.
I'm good. You can have that.
No,
you can
yeah.
have it.
I'm all, we make.
I'm
you make
good.
I don't
10
even-
I'll be
You
down
can
there.
make it $10 more an hour. You got it.
You say you can have it. I don't even like looking at it.
No.
I
You
hate
get
fucking.
nervous, like,
If
I
I'm,
can't
I
look
get
up.
like a
Yep.
vertigo sensation.
Yeah.
It's like shock waves of like atmosphere hitting my. I'm like, what is happening?
I
hate looking at someone doing something fucking death-defying
Right.
up like 200 feet above me. I hate it.
I just know I'm not supposed to be up there.
You're not.
I'm not supposed to be up there.
You're not.
Birds go up there,
Yeah.
and they have wings. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason, bro.
They got wings. That's why they're up
There's
there.
a reason. They got wings.
They
Have
know
you
if they go down, they're good.
Have you seen?
And how this ties in to the entire podcast. We work in the movie industry, which goes back to pirate.
You're gonna say military.
I was.
I knew it.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
But have you
Keep
seen?
that out.
Have you seen the base jumpers that are hooking their parachutes, hooking them to their skin, pierced wise?
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Why?
So, if for people that don't know, you base jump, you hold your parachute in your hand, you free jump off a fucking mountain. or whatever you want to choose to jump off of, and you throw it at a certain point. People are now. How they get into suspension? You've seen suspension,
Oh, yeah.
where people pierce themselves and they hang from hooks,
And have sex, right?
and they have.
Oh,
it
yeah.
could be sex, or it could just be like, no, it's like it's the ultimate euphoric endorphin.
You
Whatever.
can
Okay.
keep it.
Something
keep
happened
it.
during your fucking childhood.
You got some
That's
fucking
weird,
Or
problems.
some ant pinched you a little too hard.
And you were like, ooh.
and you were like, what the fuck was
I
that?
have a boner.
It's just like,
Yeah.
ooh, ooh.
And you wear and you want to get pinched for it. So what they're doing is they're piercing like 6 rows, like a corset on their back of piercings, and they're hooking the parachute to it and jumping and throwing it, and their skin pulls them back.
Huh.
With So I'm waiting for the person
It just
that
rips all the
just
way
that
off.
rips
doesn't
right
have
out.
the perfect skin for like this is gonna become a thing.
Your skin's
where you
not
gotta
tough
have
enough.
You
Not
gotta have a
enough
checklist.
Not enough
After-
vitamin E, bro. Listen.
after a certain amount of mistakes, after these like tourism things are gonna hurt, because I saw the video and it's disgusting. You see the tension
How
of the
bad
skin.
does the skin pull off the body?
Pretty
It
far.
pulls far like that. Skin's malleable and stretchy, so it pulls off like
Your
a
words
good
are
5,
amazing.
6, right? It pulls off like a
It's
good 5,
he's got a
6
good
inches.
vocabulary.
Right.
Yeah. But no, that's they
tied
got
it,
they got
right?
fucking problems.
But what I was saying is how long in the future until people just start evolving fucking wings that grow out of their back? Because like say
Well, those dudes with the squirrel suits do
squirrel
it.
suits, people that
They
do
fucking-
squirrel suits all the time. There's going to be one fucking nutcase that lathers himself up in super glue. In super glue, and he just slips right into that fucking squirrel suit, and it's not going anywhere. And he makes it out of fucking human skin or some leather. But the point is, like, if there's a good niche of people, and you get millions or upon millions of people to do it, how long until they split off and they start fucking evolving wings and flaps like fucking the squirrels did?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
it's easier and more beneficial for a squirrel to do a little fucking fly to the next tree as opposed to going down and getting eaten by something or squashed by
But
something.
at the same respect, that could get really fucked up, and you could have some weird-looking humans.
Shit's gonna happen.
Like penguins. Penguins fucking just were like, oh, this bird, they fly. Let's get really fat, tiny wings. We're not doing shit.
Yo, I watched this
You know
video.
what I mean?
We ain't doing
I watched this
nothing.
video on
We're not doing
YouTube.
shit.
There's like a whole whatever you call a family of penguins, like 200 penguins. They tie a line, right? They tie just like a rope line, maybe about I don't know, 3 feet in the air, maybe less, 2 feet. And they try to cross this line. They got no idea what's going on.
No.
They come up to the line. They're like, they're all just like
It is.
They test it and they're all falling over the
Yep.
line.
It's
They
like
have
those
no idea
kids-
how to handle it.
It's like those kids that fuck around with people when they're driving, and like you'll have nothing. There's nothing in your hands, but me and you will go on opposite ends of the street and pretend like we're holding something for the cars that are about to pass. And people just they don't know how to cross it if it's like real or not real.
Yeah.
And that's the same instance.
Yeah, exactly, same thing.
People do that. That's what they do.
Where's Segue in history?
I don't know where to go with this, guys. You're leaving me out here. Help, 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 help.
I'm out of wine.
I'll refill.
I'm out of
Stand by.
You know, wine.
I am out of Cabernet Sauvignon.
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 I'll take a hit. Why not?
Listen to us. We are out of wine.
Yo, you know how I know I'm getting old? I'm feeling old. We did the commercial for the podcast. What was it, on Thursday? I had a long day of work. Got up at 4 a.m. Did a 12-hour day. Came home. We did the podcast. We did the commercial. Right. He poured me a glass of wine. Right? I don't really drink wine all much. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'll have
You
a glass
felt
of
like
wine.
you wanted to have sex with him right away.
Oh, I mean, I feel that way anyway. But, that's
That
neither
goes
here
with-
nor
that
there.
goes without saying.
That's neither here nor there. I mean, look at that beard. The glasses, too. But yeah, he poured me the glass of wine. Everyone left. I laid down. I'm like, I'm gonna watch a little TV and I'm gonna hit the sack, bro. I passed the fuck out.
Out cold.
I woke up with my phone underneath me. No alarm set, nothing. I woke up by
Thank you,
chance
Antonio.
at like 4:50. I had to leave at 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Who is this?
What's happening?
Oh.
Where am I?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You had a rectangle on your back for
It's
all
crazy.
day.
That's how you know.
See, that's what you want to know. Here's my theory: don't concentrate on your age, and don't concentrate on fucking linear like time. I can't say my months in fucking order half the time because I'm so bad with monthly and celestial fucking timekeeping. It just goes in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
And I feel like I always have energy because I never know. Alexa just told me I'm 30 now, and she said something. I'm like, oh, when's my birthday? She's like, tomorrow or it's Friday, I'm like, oh, and that's just how it was. When we'd be on tour, she'd be like, where are you? And I'm like, I don't know.
No clue.
And I wasn't even sure what day it was.
Just look out the window. On the bus.
To get to my point,
There's some trees.
I feel like even not just you, but like societies in general that focus on age more. Like, happy birthday, I'm 2, and I'm 3. It gets your mind more conditioned and used to going in this
Yes.
A, B, C, D.
But-
so when you get to the later numbers, you're already thinking like, oh shit, I'm about to fucking fall apart. It's like the fucking wheels.
Yeah, like
the
I
wheels
said,
are
it
coming
works.
off.
But you know what I
at
noticed?
28, like now, like going towards fighting,
Yeah.
like like me
Yeah,
leading
yeah.
up to another fight. I'm 28. I get out of bed at 6 a.m. and I'm like, my fucking. Is that my ass that hurts? Like you don't even know.
what is bothering
Something
me?
hurts. You know what I mean? And that the last time
sore.
I fought was 25, and it's like that's 3 years.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. The way I noticed, I mean, I don't really even dwell on it that much. I feel roughly the same way I did as when I was 17. But I know I'm in my 30s because I'm getting fucking ear hair. That just gets out of control. I'll look
Mine
in the
gets
mirror. I look in the
ferocious.
mirror. I'm like,
No.
what the fuck
That's an
is
Italian thing, bro.
fuck is that?
I have Italian in me.
And it's
I'm
like
gonna
this.
get it.
It's like this
No, no, no.
long.
You're
And I'm
gonna
like,
get
how
it.
did I
Oh,
miss
you
that?
will,
I'm older
trust
than
me.
you.
But
How
you're
did I
gonna
miss
get
that?
it.
I'm like, how did I miss
You
that?
will get it.
You're gonna get it.
And when I was in my 20s, I couldn't fall asleep. I would have to be like, all right, dude, TV off, time to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Body, it's time to go to sleep. Now, I'd just be like, I fall
It is true,
asleep out of
because
nowhere
you want to know it's not your age.
if I'm too comfortable.
It's not your age. It's because this is coming from experience with dabbling in the movie industry, grip business. Grips are the people that like build
It is.
the stuff you see. So with that business and the time you're waking up and the hours you're working and the shit you're moving, you get fucking tired.
Oh, big time.
And you can easily get home and eat dinner and like lay down, you're watching TV, and you can fall asleep at 10 o'clock.
Oh,
and it has
easily.
nothing to do with you being like, oh, I'm fucking crusty and I'm creaky and I can't move right. Something hurts.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm fucking tired because I'm a human being
Yeah.
that's been fucking lugging shit around and waking up. You know what I mean? It's just that's how it is.
So, getting old. Not getting old, just feeling old.
You're fine.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
I don't know. I guess you could say getting old is it's different. I guess it was different. I felt like people maybe not that they were more established, but I think you have to not it's weird to talk at like guys our age say in like 1955 had like 3 kids.
Oh, I know.
2-car garage, but
And they
then
were
again,
eating their fucking lunch on a beam that was 300
yeah,
feet
exactly.
in the air.
It's weird. It's like
different.
yeah, you have to kind of I guess just go with the time and what it is.
Yeah. So I also wanted to get your input on something. Drumming, right? Drumming.
Yeah.
I think drumming can change the entire direction of a band. Like it could. All right, let's say you want to do a metal band. If you don't have the correct drummer, and this isn't ass kissing.
No,
We're
no.
family.
Yeah.
So I'm not kissing your ass. I'm just saying, if you don't have the correct drummer, you could be lumped in as a rock band, or you could be lumped in as a metal band.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't think the position gets enough respect.
I mean, it doesn't.
It
But
really
I mean,
doesn't.
But the point is, like, you could say the same thing about a guitarist. So, say someone like Angel is on a track, you know that's Angel, as opposed to somebody else you don't know that's them. So, if someone has a certain style that they can bring to that element of the music that you're trying to portray, death metal, I need a fast,
Yeah.
athletic drummer that could do double bass like crazy. I mean, then you need that kind of person. But like, but yeah, if you're in today's kind of metal, you got to have some kind of chops about yourself. Like I heard Dennis Chambers, one of my favorite drummers of all time, but he said something about modern drummers now, metal drummers in particular. He said, and he was kind of dismissive in his tone, I believe. And he said something like, you got to be half athlete. And I mean, you could take offense to that, but you shouldn't, because it is true. There are older style drummers that if you showed them something now, they'd be like, what the fuck is he doing?
Does
Like,
he,
it's,
like,
it's,
as
that's
his-
insane.
Yeah.
Like, what is he doing with his feet? Like, brrr, like, what is that? But the thing is, like, human beings in general, I've been asking people, I'm like, what the fuck is music going to turn into in 10 years? Like, drummers now are already doing blast beats that are fucking like 9,000 BPM, and they're doing double bass, like using these pedals, and they're doing heel toe, and you can't get any faster. It's like, how is it going to get any faster? But I mean, it is true. If you're in a metal band, you should have, I mean, if you're in that style of speed, you got to have a drummer that keeps up.
Yeah, exactly.
The way drummers are, like, I grew up around one. My uncle was a drummer for 25 years. I mean, the guy had stage 3 cancer, and he was going downstairs with a hole in his neck, jamming out before he died.
Wow.
So, you know, but I kind of equivalent drummers to almost like the craziest dude in the group. Like drummers are like goalies in hockey. Goalies are fucking crazy. You're getting hit with pucks. You know what I mean? Like
They want
like,
something to smack their
exactly,
face. This
yes.
goes back to something from childhood. It's like the people that want to like be pierced, or the people that want to get something hard to their face. Something happened in their distant past.
I think
something happened.
you have to be a little
It
edgy to
scratched
do
a
it.
small little fucking scratch in their brain. That's
just
always
gotta be
like
a
it's
little
got this
edgy.
little divot. It's like this little cavern that can't be molded over. Mm-hmm. Continue. What
I
you're
dig
saying.
it. No, that was it. I was
Okay.
done there. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
You're a piece of shit.
Sorry.
But I love you.
Thank you.
So I know that pirating music was a big contributing factor to you
Yeah, it sucked.
and Mutiny
Yeah.
doing parting ways for a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Really sucked.
How did that really like?
when Mutiny put out our first album, the record sales were honestly not that great, and we were like, they were fine, but like at the low end of fine, like in the yellow,
Yeah.
hovering like above the red, and then we're like, what? We don't get it. Like we thought we were good. We're like, oh, we like this music. We thought other people would,
Dig it essentially, yeah.
resonate with it also. But then we found out that on one torrent illegal like downloading site, pirating, sharing site alone, there was about 60,000 illegal downloads in the first whatever.
Jesus.
However,
60,000.
yeah. So like imagine if how music used to be, and you used to have to go with your feet, those fucking annoying feet, to the store to buy an album, and that counted like a little check, like on a graph. Now it's just 60,000 kids just going, no, it's mine. It's fine, it's mine. No, it's okay, it's mine. When you go into a restaurant, you eat the food and you go, no, that was my food. Like I don't have to. When was the last time you did that? I've done that a few times, like when I was young. But like when you're a young asshole, you get free passes. When these people that are growing up now, and they're like, no.
It's
no,
your
this
livelihood
This
now
is
that-
mine. This is mine. I could just do this, and I have LimeWire.
They're entitled.
Well, that's
LimeWire. Wow, I remember
Right.
LimeWire.
Napster.
I have
bro.
Aries,
Napster, bro.
and this is what
Napster.
people.
Aries. Oh my god.
You just type in Mutiny Within or Devil Drive or Killswitch Engage,
Yeah, and it just comes up.
and you specify what album do you want, what song do you want. You can download the entire album. Guess what? That $10 or $12 now that you could have spent on the actual physical thing that you hold in your hands could have went to a good contribution to keeping the band that you like, that you just
business.
downloaded the music,
Keep it
in
in
business.
business. Yeah.
Because there are so many bands that are just not in business anymore. And it sucks that music, maybe this is payback for humans trying to make a business out of music because it never works. Maybe like they had their heyday and they looked like idiots when they were in the 80s. But like music should be something that you enjoy to play and that you enjoy listening to. I see everybody looking over there but me. What the fuck's
What's
going on?
happening?
There's a little glitch with the
some
camera
tech-
action, but don't worry,
some
we got that main
technical
shot. We'll be all right.
Glitch in the Matrix. But the point is, what was my point?
Pirating music.
Pirating music.
It takes what you were saying was it almost essentially making a business of music.
Making
You
a
know-
business of music, I know. I mean, there are bands that did it really successfully forever, and great for them. But now, those were the people slamming. Probably sounds weird on the microphone. Those are the generation of people that are in the background that used to buy things like that, and they grew up with that kind of style without the internet. Because now that the internet around, it's great for publicity, and oh look, I got 100 likes, but it's also not good because people are like, mine, it's mine.
Yeah.
Like the meme,
Exactly.
me, it's me.
Yeah.
It's mine. It's like that's the kind of it's iPhone, me, mine. It's all personal pronouns. It's all like for me.
Yeah.
And that's like it's not just it kind of stems from where we're going as
Yeah.
people and a fucking planet.
Exactly.
But it's spilling over into like
Into other shit.
music and like everything else.
Yeah.
And it's making it more vain. And it's like no. We didn't. Don't even fucking think of having that take in the video because we weren't choreographed with our headbanging. I mean, it's more about the show and
It's always about you.
Listen, it should be about the show. And if you're a musician and you're playing a show that people are paying for, you should go all out and put a show on for
Exactly.
people.
Yeah.
There's nothing more than I hate than watching like a drummer going like this and he's like, this is no fucking problem. I mean, I fucking like,
Yeah.
I ate lightning for breakfast. And he's like, it's like, grow up. Like you're trying to
You're
put on a
making
show.
it about yourself.
If it's
Exactly.
really good and it comes to you naturally for acting, are you just gonna be like, and you're acting like,
Well, it's almost like with director.
no, you
it's
gotta
like-
act like be put
It's like
your
what
money where your
directors
mouth
do.
is and give them a good show for their money because people
Exactly.
are paying for things and things are more expensive and they got other fucking bills to take care of.
Yeah.
So if they're paying for a
they're
concert
giving
ticket,
you money out of that.
if
that
they're paying for a
paycheck that you
concert
earned, yeah.
ticket, at least give them a good show. So
But that doesn't come into play for them. They don't think that way.
no,
It just it's
That's
everyone.
where
it becomes about
whole
everyone's
double-edged
about
sword
themselves.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it should be about the show, but now it's like so much about the show and no substance or talent. Like they can actually do the showmanship. Yay! Look at us do it perfect.
Yeah.
It looks like intermediate level high school cheerleading, but that's the extent because they have a good Pro Tools guy.
Exactly.
Good Pro Tools.
Yeah.
I'm good at Excel.
And I was reading somewhere that
Do
They
Excel.
put things in grids like no one's business.
because
off,
of
man.
because of smartphones and because of stuff like that, the human attention span
horrible.
is less than a
It's-
goldfish.
You want to hear a real study? There's
Get
people-
at it.
Yeah, I'll get at it. There's people now that you're like even I'll bring it to Legos. Legos, when you were a kid, you used to be able to build a free set. You used to get a box of all random shapes, and you use your brain to put something together that you felt like making. Now they don't really come in these free building shapes. They come in sets with instructions on how to do it, and it's like taking creativity totally out of your brain. It's like no, you don't need that. No. It's like listen. It says
Don't
on the
think
back,
that way, think this
it
way.
says on
You
the
have
back
to
of the
make this
cardboard
castle.
what you have to do in this booklet.
My kids, it's they will get that package of the Lego that says build this Joker house or whatever, but they don't care. I still like that there is still, if they're young enough, they still have that creativity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't sell that you have to build this, I just give it to them. You know what I mean? I want them to do it, but like you were saying, you're almost forced. You're forced to build it. It's
You're forced
thrown
to
in
do
your
something. You're
face.
forced to essentially be able to have a piece of paper in front of your face or someone in front of your face telling you how to follow instructions. And they even said like sports are really good for your brain. They're really good for your heart. But I hate to say, science says that if you're so involved in a sport, especially at a collegiate or a professional level, that it actually takes your creativity all the way down to here. Because you get so ingrained in being told what to do and being told to push that extra mile physically. You're so tired. Your coach is telling you to get that, shave that second off your fucking 100. That it's taking all. I see you guys looking here. It's fucking me up.
We're running out of memory on the video.
Oh,
no,
that's fine.
just keep talking.
I'll put it-
Audio's all that
dot,
matters.
dot, dot. But anyway, with sports, just like the same in every other category, the more rigid and instructional it is, the less creativity you have as a person.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
they did that study on sports. So it works with everything, not just fucking Legos and music and it's sports. So the same thing is if we're being bombarded by this horrible, lyrically ridiculous, like mentally way down here music with lyrics and beats that are like this. Doof, 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 doof. I mean, if that doesn't sound like a pendulum swinging when you're in a hypnotist,
Yeah.
it sounds like
It's
it. Listen,
continuous.
It's continuous, and it makes your brain like, whoa, okay, I'm gonna start wobbling with this thing, and then whatever kind of lyrics you got embedded in there. What happens when you try and do post-it? I'm laying down, I'm trying to be okay, and you're in a hypnotist office, and they're focus on the tick. Okay, what the fuck is going on with the music now? Focus on the tick. Doof, doof, doof. And whatever kind of bullshit message you want to put in there, you just pepper that throughout the lyrics. Like Neo and Pitbull saying, even if you got no money, go out to the club and spend it all. It's like,
Fuck it.
I'm not kidding.
Further yourself in
those
debt.
are real lyrics to that song that they just put out. Like, what is it? And not only you'll listen to it, you have no choice but to listen to it. And your brain just kind of puts it in the background as something that needs to be remembered.
Yeah, it syncs up with
Right.
It syncs up with it.
subconsciously.
Subconsciously, we've been around for a long time. So we've gotten aware to patterns and things, and it's like a survival mechanism. So when you hear something, it's like, listen, we're hearing this constant reminder of something. We better listen to what it's saying. So that's how you kind of can mold the way people think is just through pop music.
Yeah.
Just by constant repetition of things.
Just repetition,
Yeah,
repetition.
exactly.
Cookie cutter, just copy and paste kind of thing.
Easy.
Yeah, easy.
Well, that's
very
how
easy.
television's become. That's how
Exactly.
movies have become. I mean, yeah, you're still going to get great films here and there, but it's the actor who's immersed in a role. Like, I heard a story about Johnny Depp. Like, you know, on set, guys will read lines, but the script supervisor will usually read lines to a guy if the actor's not there.
Yeah.
Depp will sit in with, like, the 15th guy on your script and he'll actually read that line. Like it could be hot dog vendor 1.
Right.
And he'll actually read lines back to you.
Right.
That's gone. That's gone. It's almost like the
It
same
is.
thing with cop shows. How many cop shows can we have? How much law enforcement do I need to know about?
Not enough, God damn it.
We need more.
Yeah.
God damn it.
But the point is, what you're saying is that's how it's more of a social media
Right.
face, quick little snippet out of the fucking microfiche film in the reel. Like that's what you're known as, a quick little snapshot. And if, oh my God, if people just hear this one little quick clip
They'll
of me,
be hooked.
this is what I.
Yep.
It's like no, it's not. And kids are getting so fucking confused because they're getting younger and younger. And now younger kids are getting I didn't have a fucking cool cell phone till I was in like college.
Me too, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a cell phone in high school.
Me neither.
Maybe when I was a senior, I got one of those flip phones
Yep.
that I was like, psh, with a
Bro,
keyboard.
I could play Snake on
It's
this.
like, what? I don't have to hit.
I'm about to fuck Snake up.
It's like, what? I don't have to hit 1 3 times for a C. It's like, it's in a QWERTY keyboard. You're kidding me.
Yeah.
And it's like, then your thumbs start going like this, and it's like, psh, but that's
Exactly. You
we
become
didn't
immersed
have
in that. Yeah.
You become immersed in this bullshit
And that was the beginning. And that planted the seed. Those
Yeah.
first phones
But
planted that
even
seed.
when we had phones, like when we were like really the first generation that got the cell phone.
We're the
As
coolest.
it-
We saw
exactly.
all the cool. Now
We saw the cool shit and then the new
differences.
cool shit.
We
Yeah.
didn't have the internet.
Exactly.
We didn't have Facebook.
Yeah.
We didn't have MySpace.
We're
we
in
didn't
a-
have cell phones
Yeah.
like this.
I
We're in
remember
a-
how precise. Remember how precise planning as a kid had to go if you were meeting people somewhere.
Oh my God.
On the house phone.
On the house
I'm
phone.
leaving in 7 minutes.
And guess
You
what?
will be there in 13.
And guess what?
Don't be late because we'll miss the train.
Yeah.
And then I'll get mugged.
I'm walking
So don't
to your
fuck
house.
this up.
I'm walking to your house, by the way.
Yeah.
Everything was more
I'm
planned
walking.
out.
I'm
It was more
walking
of a-
12
yeah.
miles
Yeah.
to get to this party. Fuck off.
I mean, we're definitely in a unique generation because we grew up with none of this shit.
This
We
internet
grew
is
up with
like a
none-
big schism in like
Oh, yeah.
human beings
Oh,
like
yeah.
on this fucking whatever planet on this planet right now.
plain.
The internet is like such a different thing for human beings to have to interact with that it's like fucking shit up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's a learning curve, but it's
It's
there
the
now,
exchange of
so.
information. One thing happens in Malaysia,
Yeah.
and in 10 seconds, the entire fucking planet knows
Yeah.
about it.
And Facebook has a fucking filter for it. Like, just so everyone knows, all these like filters that come out after like some kind of tragedy or something, like that's like a planned out kind of thing that's kind of seen if you're gonna make it your filter. So don't be a fucking moron. And if you're being sympathetic and you have true feelings, good for you. But just know that for some reason, Facebook feels like seeing if you're gonna do it.
Oh yeah, what
That's why it's there.
No, that's why
it's
they
not
put it
there
there.
to be like this beneficial, benevolent, like source of being like show your dissatisfaction in what just happened and like being a sweet, kind-hearted person.
Exactly.
It's they want to for some reason see like bringing back this grid graph thing. They want to see if you're gonna click it.
Yeah.
And that's fucking weird.
And then if you do click it,
And
they-
guess what?
They,
They-
go to the next thing. So like, okay,
Not
they
even the
click
next
this,
thing. They want to
so
see.
let's-
They want to see how long you keep it as your filter. So that gets even weirder. It's like, what are you doing? It's like after something horrible happens, you already got a filter ready to go, and you want to see who does it and who keeps it the longest. And I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it is.
I remember
doesn't-
Facebook when Facebook was only a .edu account. You
I
had
had-
to have a college
You
account.
had to have a college
have-
account. Kids weren't allowed.
Exactly. It was actually pretty cool then because you were like, "Holy shit! I went
It
to
was
high
different.
school and you're 10 hours away."
It was more of a way for kids in college to just connect. Be like, "Well, what are you doing?" Like
Yeah.
you need, like you said, you needed a .edu
yeah,
email
exactly.
address.
You,
to have
your ass
Facebook.
needed to be at some higher education format
And if you didn't, if
to
you
get
were
on
too
this
young,
shit.
You were on MySpace learning ways to put cool coding in your Facebook
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
it look like it had a black background and fiery red flame writing.
copy and paste.
But
just
that's
drag
how
and drop.
Facebook is now. It's the flame writing now. That's Facebook.
It used to be
it's
about
the flames.
MySpace was about what profile song do you have? That's all it was, and it told everyone
told the
about
whole-
you.
it told the whole tale.
It
and
told
how,
the whole
Exactly.
tale.
and how the fuck did you get your little music widget player to be in the bottom right?
How'd you do that?
You must have found some really evolved.
I like the songs you have on your MySpace page.
I
Tell
remember
me
how,
how
to
you
do
did
that.
it.
It was like the bracket and then the colon with
Yep.
the break and the colon, and you would have to code your own shit to make it look cool.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame.
You actually had to
now.
work for it. You had to want it.
You
You had to want it. You had to want to be cool.
People
How
go
bad
like
do you
this.
want it?
and I'm done. Even the way, look, I love Uber. It's great. But even the way we hail cabs now has become part of social media.
At some
I
point,
can tell,
it's a
just
fucking
in
app.
case, everyone, I get raped. This is the guy who did it on my Uber account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it used to be hail a cab. Oh, my God,
Exactly.
it stinks in here. But I got to put up with it. Like, you know what I mean?
Smells like cigarettes and old leather.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's true.
It's so true.
Did you see the video that Uber got? It got like the shit smacked
Oh,
out of
my
him.
God.
You saw that, right?
That was
cab
crazy.
driver?
The cab, the
it
Uber
was,
driver.
It was an
Yeah.
Uber driver, and the guy in the back was so fucking drunk, and he was what was he? He was like a Taco Bell like marketing exec.
Yeah, dude,
And-
like pretty high up in the Taco
The guy,
Bell
you see
chain.
the video. The guy's like wobbling, like, and the guy's like, "Tell me where you need to fucking go." And the guy would not tell him. He's just like, "It's," and then they trimmed out the very popular one, and then the guy is saying, "Get out of my car," and he goes, "You know what?" And from behind, he is like,
Just starts destroying
Hail
him.
marrying the guy to the side of the face, and
Haymakers.
He got fired. And
He
I
got
think
fired.
Taco Bell's like he needs counseling, like he needs to go somewhere.
No, he just was drunk.
He needs a grilled stuffed steak burrito.
And the Uber guy's like, I'm never driving. I'm stopping driving Uber for now. I'm afraid.
Exactly. You've taken away
Yeah.
my livelihood by beating me.
Yeah.
Didn't he mace him?
The
He
driver.
he
He
turned
should've.
around and was
No, no,
macing
no.
him.
At the end, the driver goes, "Oh yeah." It was like almost verbatim. He's like, "Oh yeah, are you sure?" And he goes, Psh, right in his fucking face.
Get you some of that mace.
It was awkward.
Oh man, that's great.
And I also want to get your input on metal vocals. What's your opinion on metal vocals in general? The whole spectrum.
Jeez.
Clean to
I mean,
you know what I'm talking about.
I can't even say like metal. If you
What do
metal,
you like?
Metal is
What do
more
you
of
like?
just like to me. It's like an aggressive, more abrasive, shredding guitar style, faster sounding like genre music.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have only screaming Cookie Monster like death metal growls or
Yeah.
high Black Dahlia Murder shrieks, or just incorporate like Killswitch, and they do a great equal amount of
Yeah,
screaming as opposed to singing. It's whatever you like. But I mean, the thing is, like, it just comes back to nowadays. It's like it's so easy to auto tune and like smooth out. But like the way I loved the first band that I heard that got me into this genre was Killswitch. Yeah, and it
Me
was
too.
I think
Us too.
Into the Unblind, the song from
Bro.
when I
Bro.
heard that first scream when he was like, and it was like that such high pitch. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was that like hard style that I liked from the punk and the hardcore, but then it brought this technicality and the musicianship to it, and the singing that he added in the choruses, I thought added a lot more to the songs. Because
Yeah.
back in the '80s and stuff, it was more like Megadeth, like "Hello, me, meet the." It was like, what the fuck is that? But I mean, like, but even like Metallica and shit, it was like more like gritty style vocalists. But then there were still bands like Deicide and shit that was doing like that screaming, like fucking, like crazy.
One of my
So-
favorites is Brendan Chiapetta from Bleeding Through.
Didn't you tag me in something that said like they may be coming?
Yeah,
back?
yeah, they may be coming back.
That's great.
You listen to his voice, it just makes your fucking blood like
And that's what you're saying
hot.
because in the
It's like-
the more previous,
He's got
album,
fire in his voice.
as opposed to like the older albums. He didn't do as much screaming in the older ones. But
Yeah.
then when what was it? This is Love, This is Murderous. He did a little singing.
Little
and
bit.
I loved it.
Yeah.
That was what was that? Ferret or Trustkill?
That was Trustkill.
Trustkill.
That was still
see,
Trustkill.
That was that generation. I loved
Yeah,
it.
it was great, man. They
Yeah.
had
What-
they had a lot of good bands coming out.
I guess my question towards you was, what made you, like, you talk about listening to punk early on and et cetera like that, because I was a big punk fan, Clash, Sex Pistols, shit like that. But what made you pick metal? What made you go that route instead of maybe punk or something like? I mean, I know punk became. We were really young when punk
Yeah.
became oversaturated.
Yeah, but not even like how you're mentioning like the Clash and the Sex Pistols and stuff like that. When I was listening to punk, I was listening to the Casualties and Total Chaos,
Right, different,
and the
yeah.
Exploited, the guys that had mohawks 10 feet
Right.
high with leather jackets
Yep.
with patches and studs,
The whole deal.
and it was more like I was drawn to
The outsider of
the
that
attitude
that
and
spectrum,
the
right?
energy of it. And then it graduated into hardcore, which was a heavier, almost sounding kind of punk. But then it was lacking because I had already been drumming for years. It was lacking, like, I like to start listening to, like, Dream Theater and stuff like that. I love Dream
Yeah.
And it wasn't going in that direction. It was kind of simple. So then when metal came, it was bringing a little bit more of a technical
What you had wanted.
musicianship
Exactly.
to, like, the heavy music.
Do you want to talk about new metal? You even want to dip your toe in
And
that
new
pool.
metal. I don't even know what to classify as that. Like people say, like, oh, Seven Dust was new metal, but there's
Seven Dust is a
fucking
fantastic
awesome.
band.
They're amazing.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Fuck
So
that.
it's like
I know so,
you
yeah.
can't go by like genre labels because some asshole on Metal Sucks or Lamb Goat or fucking whatever. I love all these sites, by the way, but like a random guy that will say like, oh, new metal, Seven Dust, like that doesn't mean they're new metal.
no.
Seven Dust is amazing.
That's quality, bro. Seven Dust
quality.
is quality. We saw a show at a club in Florida, and this was like, you gotta understand, where we grew up, there was nothing. Like if a show came through, there was one club in Fort Myers from where we were. It was about 20, 30 miles. Club Neptune. All the big bands of that time played there. I'm talking like Mudvayne, Nothing Face. Seven
shit.
Dust ran
Oh,
through.
yeah.
Yeah.
Seven
Oh,
Dust
yeah.
came through. There was a band called Twisted Method back in the day. They were big. They
I
came
remember
from
Rob
the Cape
showed
Coral
me
area.
them. Yeah.
Moto
So,
Grader.
so Seven Dust was Moto Grader.
Moto
Nobody
Grader.
knows. Yeah,
Nobody
Motor
knows.
Grader is
They were
old
good, man.
Five Finger Death Punch lead singer.
Yep.
It's
right.
old band.
They were a good band,
We
man.
saw them live.
Yeah, we saw them live.
Spit all
They
over
had
me and Rob. The whole
they
crowd.
had
It was
every
disgusting.
bro. They had
It was
everyone. They're like
disgusting.
everyone in this, and the air conditioner was broke in July.
That's right.
In
In
July,
Florida.
in summer in Florida.
It was
right?
crazy.
So the fucking place was a sweat factory, right? So they all
Filth.
go, "We want everyone to hawk loogies up on the stage right now."
Now, mind you, me and Rob,
Bro.
are eye level with his crotch, right? Like right here. It's
Sure.
right here. And he just like everyone just spit on me, and me and Rob just look at each other and just like, oh no, oh no. We just put our head down and just everyone just spit on. It was horrible. And then we looked over and poor Neil was dying.
Dying.
To be-
I almost had a heat
dying.
stroke.
I gotta be honest.
I told
They had
the guy
to
at the
take
end,
him
I'm
out
like,
backstage.
The
They
show
had to
was over. I'm like, listen, bro. I was in the front the whole time. I'm like, listen, bro. I'm like,
can't
I don't
move.
give a fuck about the bands, anything. At the end of the show was
Yeah.
over. I'm like, listen, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm about to drop.
I
Can
smell
you just
like
let me out?
I smell like when milk gets dried on human skin, and then you smell it, and it just has that rotten dairy.
Yeah, but bands like Limp Bizkit just makes me cringe saying it. But Limp Bizkit,
Hey,
Kid
now.
Rock, I guess that's rap, even rap metal, but that was in the same new metal vein, right? So I was like, oh, I like this, but I always felt like it needed more. And
That's
then
like
I heard,
when Mudvayne was coming out.
I love Mudvayne.
I do too.
Mudvayne's
But that's
my
what I'm
shit,
saying.
man.
That's why I'm saying with labels you can't get fucked up with them because
Exactly.
Mudvayne could get tossed into this new metal
No.
because Brian, the fucking moderator on Lamb Goat, thinks that he's new metal. It's like they're not
Lamb
new
Goat.
They're
fucking
not.
metal.
They had something special, those guys. Those
Yeah.
four dudes were made to make music together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. Me and Kevin seen them so many times. It's ridiculous.
LD40 was amazing.
LD50.
50. Even Happy. What was the next album? Happy. What was that?
The next album was The End of All Things to Come.
The End of All
And
And
Things
was
then
that
it
on
was
Happy on
then
it?
it was Lost and Found.
Lost
That
and
was
Found.
it.
Yeah,
Lost
yeah.
and Found. Those three albums are fantastic.
Happy was like one of my
I
favorites.
love that song. But it was like there was that, and then like you said, I heard Kill Switch Engage on a cable radio station, and I was
I'll
like,
never forget
I was
that
like,
day.
holy fucking shit! I'm
I
like,
heard
this
them
is
on vacation.
my last
Yeah.
serenade. That was the song. Then I knew right then. I knew I'm like, shit's about to change.
It changed
And
it
did.
for all of us.
It
But
changed it
then
for all
even
of us.
For all
before
of
that, lest we forget about bands like Soilwork and Flames and Dark Tranquility, these Swedish era metal bands that brought over this style of metal that these heavier, aggressive bands in America started like incorporating with this stuff.
Yeah.
So when I was hearing about Killswitch, it was like a mixed up history on metal. I was listening to 89.5 Seton Hall, and they played a Soilwork song, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
What kind
and
of-
it,
yeah.
it was insane. It was like the
Soilwork is
best.
great, man.
One of my favorite bands in history is Soilwork.
When I listen to Soilwork and Scar Symmetry,
Yeah.
not a lot of people have heard about Scar Symmetry, but I
One of
know
my
you're a
f-
huge
one of
fan.
my favorite-
One of my favorite bands
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
I put you guys, Mutiny, in the same category as like them. Like
Right.
Soilwork, Scar Symmetry. Weren't you guys supposed to do a tour with them at one point?
Soilwork,
Soilwork and Scar
Mutiny,
Symmetry?
After me and Mutiny did our little
He
tango
played
of
with-
not
Yeah.
being, they did a tour with Soilwork
Mm-hmm.
with a fill-in drummer. But yes, they did. But then after that, like I was in a band with the lead singer of Soilwork, Blinded and Bliss.
Yeah, yeah,
So and that was with the basis of Threat Signal also. So that was I got to be in a band.
Threat signal.
I got to be in a band with the lead singer, and he was in one of the primary bands that got me interested in that vein of
dope.
metal.
It's fantastic.
So, yeah.
It's crazy.
So even though I didn't get to tour with them, I got to be in a band with them and shoot a
it's a
video
crazy
and
life,
make an
man.
album. Yeah.
It's totally crazy how you guys talk about the progression of. I'm not really well versed at all in metal. You know, I try and keep up with it because of this, but it's kind of like how for me I've always been a big hip hop fan.
Yeah.
Like legit.
sorry.
hip-hop. Nah, old hip hop, but you can't tell me old hip hop wasn't good.
I used to like Jurassic 5. You like Jurassic 5?
That's trash, bro.
You see, this is the difference.
No, this is
Those
not
were
the difference.
These were the guys that were like doing like poetry, and they were like, I had
bro.
this shit written out, and you could tell when they had the next
so
line
you're gonna
written
tell
out.
me like Wu-Tang wasn't ridiculous?
I mean, whatever.
But Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Don't whatever me.
I saw
I've
the
sat
RZA
here and listened to people getting spit on. I've sat here and listened to you guys talk about 13 different bands that are all sounding depressing.
I saw the RZA.
They all sound very depressing. All of you. I don't get it.
They're fantastic.
Sure.
No, I dig it.
I get it. I get what you mean.
No, don't lean back
Older.
in your chair.
You have to.
You lean back
That's
in
the
your
equivalent.
chair.
That's the equivalent. Your dad pulling his
You
eyebrow.
lean back. You were like, I don't give a shit what you're about to say.
I have to agree. The older generation of that stuff
Exactly.
is way better than the stuff that's out now.
I don't
the stuff
get-
that's out now. They just did a whatever fucking study, another Gallup poll. Whoever fucking fills out or does a Gallup poll, you got to question who's filling those out anyway. But they said that rappers nowadays are rapping or whatever they're doing with their lyrics at a third to fourth to fifth grade level. That's
Exactly.
how their lyrical content is that of
Look
a
at how it's
kid
influenced the
that
way
would
kids-
be
yeah.
on Who's Smarter Than a Fifth Grader. And if you're telling me that like that's not intentional, whatever, it's not forming the way the kids that listen to it think. It's like you're on another fucking planet.
It was like that video. It was a small video on Facebook of like a panel of pretty much old school rappers. I mean, they even threw 50 in there because he kind of is. It's 15 years ago that 50 Cent came out.
I used to
with
love that first album.
know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
it was Snoop Dogg, him,
It's a good
and
album.
I forgot who else was on the panel. And Snoop Dogg was just shitting on new rappers. He was like, they had him in the studio trying to do that. You
yeah.
saw that
I
video.
saw that.
And he was just like, I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
But he's right. It's
He
like, what
is.
are they trying to do?
They all had, West Coast had their own style. Even Bone Thugs, which is from Ohio, had their own style. You know what I mean? There was fast rap.
But that was cool because they added an element of musicianship with singing and stuff. to it.
Exactly.
Like a lot of the rappers now, like I'm sorry, like the Kid Ink in that, like featured in that what the hell's that band? Fifth Harmony. That yeah, baby, I'm worth it. Fucking song.
It's
The
not even. He's not even a real rapper.
The rapper that's featured in there. Number one, not only does he comes out with his verse, then they start singing the song, and then his second verse is the first verse again. And
He's-
that's what
there's
he
no
had.
talent.
That's what he had to contribute to the song.
Dude.
Was bring it back like you forgot something.
And then
Well, thank you for telling me
Yeah.
how the structure of a sentence tells me that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, God
I
damn!
have
If
to
I'm
start it
coming
again.
back, that must mean that I forgot something. I mean, that's the lyrical extent of what's happening.
The reason I brought up Nas before on that, he did a song backwards. It's called Rewind, and it's all about how everything he raps the entire song completely backwards, lyrically straight. But I'm saying it's in a chronological order, but backwards. It's like there's no, I guess no fucking realness anymore in hip hop.
There's no
in any music, I guess.
because that means he wanted to do that and he had a cool idea and he wanted to see it through.
Exactly.
Now it's kids that got this idea that I could get popular by looking like Trey Songz, and like having my ass totally
Just
like.
check it out. Look at my ass.
But it's not. It's like weird. It's taking this different.
I'm
like,
not
more
afraid
like,
of. I'm not afraid of rappers now. I was fucking afraid of some rappers back. I was like, I would never fuck. I mean, nobody would ever fuck with Suge Knight. That motherfucker's killed like 8
Well, yeah.
people.
He runs
But-
people over with his truck.
Exactly.
Did you see
But
that?
I mean,
thing?
like,
That was
oh
scary.
yeah,
Hangs
like
people off
50
balconies.
Rappers ain't
Fucking-
getting shot no more.
That was creepy.
50 got
Yeah.
shot 9 times. No one's getting shot no more. They're getting
No.
speeding tickets.
I mean, is that
fuck
a-
out of here?
But is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, they had. I mean,
getting
what I'm
speeding
saying
tickets.
is, they
guess
they,
it depends-
they,
it
they were
depends,
putting
you know.
in. They had more credibility, I guess you could say, within that demographic.
Because hey, let's be honest. The half of this gangster rap persona came about because this is just me spitballing and hoping something comes back. I feel like it was pushed just to make this more like they're not really that killing everybody selling drugs. Maybe I'm sure a
Some
few
of them-
were,
that's
but
how some of them
let's
started.
Let's take Rick Ross for instance. Ricky Rose, the guy that hates the cops in his songs and talks about drugs and violence and gangs and selling meth to them. And then he goes, ha ha. And then he used to be a prison guard in a
He was a
jail.
corrections officer,
He was
yeah.
he used to work as a prison guard guy, surrounded by the real criminals behind the bars. And he'd be like, walking the fucking hallway like the Green Mile, making sure all the doors. He's a fucking liar. But that's what I mean. It's like all about the persona of doing
who-
some
yep.
dumb gesture in your video as opposed to actually, that's exactly what it is. It's how you look.
Exactly.
As opposed to.
Exactly. It's all about marketing.
It is.
It's all about marketing. So I just want to throw this out there. We are well over the hour mark.
Well over.
We could. I mean, I could sit here all night. You know what I'm
Shoot
saying?
this shit.
But I mean, you guys want to call it, or you? I mean, I'm good to keep going. It's up to you. I know you got things to do.
We'll give it a few more minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll
I got
let it
10,
roll.
15 minutes.
All right. So,
He's got 6 hours left in him. He's good to go.
12 minutes left.
so what do you got coming up on the horizon, Bill?
Coming up on the horizon. I don't know, in terms of what?
Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to throw out there?
No. Check out Angel Vivaldi's stuff. Check out Mutiny Within stuff. If you like Bjorn Strid as a lead singer, check out Blinded in Bliss's stuff. That was a lesser-known band, admittedly, that we were in that didn't get the publicity that, it could have. But if you like that style of music, you'll love it. I was in a band with Tommy Vexed.
Fantastic
Band,
stuff.
which is he's now in Westfield Massacre, which is in the middle or at the finalization of a band member change, and they just put out a brand new album. Or they're gonna put out a brand new album. So I know.
Well, just so you know, Billy sent me a bunch of songs about a year ago. I was supposed to put some vocals to him and do some stuff. Like I told you, man, it's hard with the kids and the full-time job, and that's not an excuse, but I've really buckled down. I got lyrics for one of the whole songs, and I'm going to lay it down this week, and I'm going to send it to you. Tell me what you think before I put it out. But I really want to buckle down and do something with you here in the near future.
You have to, because it's if people don't you love singing, you
I
love
love singing.
metal.
I really do.
So why
I
not
love
just
singing.
have fun and try?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We'll just throw something
If
together.
people are like in your situation, like, oh, I got the kids, oh, I got the job, but you have the means to maybe put down like a little demo, even though we're shit talking the media and it's oversaturated, do it for yourself.
Yeah,
just have fun.
exactly.
If you have the means to play music, play music. I mean, like it's
Exactly. And that's going to be coming very soon, so you guys keep an eye out for that. I promise.
And I'm going to
That's
rap
gonna
on
happen.
the album.
Yeah.
I'll rap on it.
in the a la Nas. I
can't
wait. Not Trey Songz.
Not Trey Song. I'll be
Antonio's
Mad
going to
Hood.
sag his pants and put a bunch of
Mad
gold
Hood.
chains on, standing behind me, and we'll see how that works
I'll
out.
shoot somebody the week before, so I have a trial awaiting. I'll be good to go, bro.
I'm good to go.
You'd be all set.
Yeah.
Yo, man, this
I
has
made
been
bail.
very fun, man.
It's been
Thank
good.
you,
It
thank you
is,
so
dude.
much. See, like we sat down and we just kept going, and I can't believe how quick an hour plus just flew by.
Yeah, no, it was dope.
felt like
It was a lot of fun.
It's crazy. I mean, I'm pumped, man. Whenever you want to do this, you let me know. We do one show a week. Whenever you want to come, if you got the time, whatever.
Sure.
Anytime, brother. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Anytime.
Thank you for the invite.
Anytime. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your time, man. And
course.
we know your time is precious. So
Thanks for having me.
shit.
Anytime. Baby.
Anytime.
Shit. Ain't nobody give a
You
fuck.
never know.
Shit, man. So, all right, man. So we're gonna wrap it up. On behalf of myself, Antonio, Kevin, we just want to say thank you guys for watching. We're gonna put all our links in the description of the video: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. There's Kevin's fingers. We had a couple problems with the phones. We burnt
Dems.
these phones out.
Them
So
some dirty fingers.
we'll all edit it up. It'll look good.
It's
and,
the lighting. It's the lighting.
We'll put all the links in the description. We'll put all Billy's links in there. You're able to check all his stuff out
Please.
just like that. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. And we had a lot of fun. We hope you guys had fun. And Billy, always a
Thank you,
fucking
sir.
pleasure, brother.
Thanks for
Always a
having me.
pleasure. Thank you for coming, Antonio. It's always a pleasure. You know what I mean? I'll see you upstairs here in a
yeah,
little
we're gonna
bit.
get up-
Kevin, fuck you and your pink microphone. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
The pink microphone still throws me off. Just ET it. ET it. Bill, ET that. Hit that ET
Oh,
shit.
shit.
There you
Boom.
go.
That was it.
There you go. All right, guys. So for Metal Lab 101, we want to say we love you guys and rock the fuck out and have a good weekend. Catch
Peace
you next
out.
week.
Peace.
Treasure of the soul.